everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. Before I get into this, I will mention that any background noise you can give thanks to Eloise. Today's video is a little bit different than my usual content, but when I uploaded my house tour video, I had so many requests to do a budget renovation video. So basically I'm going to tell you everything that we did to our kitchen to renovate it completely on a budget. We did it for very cheap. When we moved into our house, we were 19. Obviously, we didn't have very much money, so we had to be really smart about how we did things and how we renovated things, and we had to really pick and choose what we wanted to renovate. And the kitchen was the biggest thing because it was a little bit outdated, wasn't really my style. Actually, it wasn't my style at all, which is the main reason why we renovated it. We really wanted to make it more practical and just something that we really enjoyed being in and living in and cooking in. I'm gonna try my best to find before pictures and maybe some before footage. I really don't think we have like anything, but I'm gonna try and find some things for you guys to compare to what it looked like before and what it looks like now. So the first thing when we moved in is that we had no appliances, and this was a complete shock to us. It was something that was just never mentioned in the whole buying process, and for some reason we just assumed that the appliances would be included. So we moved in, we had no money left after our down payment and taxes and lawyer fees and everything. And we had a plan to renovate a few small things, and all of a sudden we also had to buy appliances on top of that, and appliances are not cheap. So we struggled a little bit with that. We had to really shop for deals. We actually ended up finding a few things off of Kijiji. We found our oven and we found our washer and dryer actually from Kijiji for a very good deal. They're basically brand new, and honestly, I really love them. If you're in Canada, shopping on Kijiji is great. Or on the Facebook Marketplace. I don't know what you guys have in the States for secondhand online shopping, but secondhand shopping is awesome. And our fridge and dishwasher were from Home Depot. Yes. We did a lot of appliance shopping. We went to multiple different stores, and Home Depot we found was the best for customer service, best for prices, and that's where we were able to find something that actually fit in our house. Our kitchen is pretty small, so a fridge especially, we really needed something that was smaller than most fridges these days. So we found our fridge and dishwasher at Home Depot. So the first thing we did, even before we moved in, was we painted everything. We painted the entire house. Because this house is fairly small, the colors on the wall were very dark, and it made everything feel even smaller. So I knew right away that I wanted to paint everything white to really brighten things up and make it appear bigger than it is. So we painted everything white. On the walls we have Snowbound by Sherwin. Although you don't see too much of that paint in the kitchen just because it's covered by cabinets, which is a different paint color that I don't remember, but it's also by Sherwin. But it's a specific cupboard paint that we got. The paint on our cupboards is a little bit of a brighter white than the Snowbound color. Painting the cabinets was definitely our go-to option because the cabinets were in really good condition. They were just not my style. They were this light wood color, and just the way that the kitchen was renovated, it looked kind of outdated, just not really my style. And I always knew I wanted a white kitchen, especially in this house because the lighting in our kitchen is horrible. We do not have very good lighting in there at all, and it's a small space, so having white cabinets brightens things up so incredibly much. This was the worst job by far. We took all the cabinet doors off, we sanded them all down, and then we painted them all, and it was a very long, very not fun process, but it's done and it looks so good. Kitchen cabinets are very expensive if you're gonna buy them brand new. I know you can get them from IKEA. I don't have any experience with IKEA cabinetry, so if you're not wanting to paint, maybe look into IKEA cabinets, but we knew that these cabinets were in really good condition and we wanted to keep them and make use of them. Something else we did to the cabinets is we took some of the doors off. So all the cupboards around the sink, we took those doors off. We still have them in case, you know, future house owners want to put them back on. But open shelving is a huge trend in kitchens right now. I think it looks so nice, and it really helps to just open and brighten up the space. The inside of the cabinets were white and it just kind of looked unfinished. So what we ended up doing was we got a contrasting color. We got an almost black color, I think it's like a charcoal color, also from Sherwin-Williams, but I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. But we painted the inside of those cupboards just to create this contrast. And I think it looks so good. I was totally inspired by a picture on Pinterest. I'll insert that here so I can show you. Camera. But honestly, I love it so much and I'm so happy that we did it. It makes things come together so beautifully. Thank you. It was a very scary thing, painting black on the inside of white cabinets, but we did it. Give me a kiss. Thank you. We did it and it just looks so good. Simply by taking off the cupboard doors, painting the inside of the cupboards, it looks so good. It's an extremely budget-friendly way to make a boring kitchen look really, really cute. It kind of just takes the kitchen to a whole new level and I love it. So of course, when we were renovating, we took a trip to IKEA and we got different handles. She's reading a book and she's making animal noises. We got different handles for our cupboards from IKEA. They're just simple black ones. I really liked the way that the black contrasted in the shelves. So I really wanted to carry that theme throughout the rest of the kitchen. So we added black handles onto our white cabinets. And we also got a bigger sink. When we moved in, there was a single, very small sink. Which just wasn't really ideal for us. Growing up, I've always had a double sink in my parents' house and in the basement suite that we were in previously. So I definitely wanted to upgrade that sink. So we ended up finding one at IKEA that I really liked. Super basic, more modern industrial. Originally I was gonna go for a farmhouse sink, but I'm so glad I went with this one instead. I just think it looks so good in this space. It adds a nice, slightly modern touch to the rest of the kind of vintage vibe. But because of the way the plumbing was, it would have been really complicated to add a double sink. So we ended up just getting a really large single sink and it's worked great. This house, when we moved in, did not have a dishwasher. And we knew right away that that was a problem and that we needed a dishwasher. So that was one of the first things we did. So we took out a section of cabinets and I was kind of sad to do this just because that was the only section that we had nice big drawers and it would have been the perfect place to store pots and pans. Sometimes you just have to make sacrifices, especially if you're on a budget. So we ended up taking out a section of cabinets and installed a dishwasher and we did it all ourselves with the help of our parents and Zach's electrician experience and with the help of YouTube as well. We installed a dishwasher ourselves and we are so glad that we did. And as for countertops, this is an area where I feel like most people will splurge. And countertops are not cheap, especially if you go with like real marble or like real stone. So because we're on a budget, we needed to go with something cheap. So we ended up going with a faux marble. Not exactly sure like the term of the actual countertop that it is. I'd have to ask Zach about that. We got them custom made. We knew a guy who could get us a deal. And so we went in, we picked out what we wanted, and I love them. They're great. They do the job perfectly. They're so easy to maintain. Originally I had wanted to go with butcher block countertops. They look really beautiful. I'm not sure how expensive they are, but I do know that they are more difficult to maintain, and I knew that was something that wasn't ideal for me, especially since I was going to become a mom soon and it wasn't ideal. So we ended up going with faux marble. Best renovation decision we've made. Now lastly, to finish off the kitchen renovation, we really needed the backsplash, and it's something that I'm gonna recommend you guys don't skip. A backsplash adds so much to a kitchen. I really wanted to make a statement out of it. Originally I wanted to get the classic subway tiles that everybody has. It's the biggest trend right now. But I realized after we got white marble countertops and painted our cupboards white that I didn't want that much white in our kitchen. So we went on the hunt and finally we stumbled upon faux brick tiles from Lowe's. And they were perfect. They are absolutely perfect. Zach and his dad installed that together and it makes such a difference in our home, and I'm so glad that we decided to go with that particular tile. I think it just brings everything together so well. Oh, did you find a snack? Eloise just went into her diaper bag and found a snack. There you go. You're welcome. As for the kitchen, that is everything we did for renovations. I can't tell you how much it cost because I really don't remember. But I know that we must have done it really, really cheap because we didn't have very much money at the time. So I have 4 tips for you guys that will really make a huge difference when you're renovating whatever area of your house on a budget. And the first tip is to do all the work or most of the work yourself. I know there's some things like if you're not an electrician, you can't install certain things, or if you're not a plumber, you can't install certain things, but try and do as many things as you possibly can by yourself. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube, Pinterest, everywhere that will help you do that. If you have family and friends, can ask them for help or advice. That is going to save you so much money in the long run. It's a lot of work. It's not fun, but in the end, it will save you a lot of money. I get lots of questions about the shelving and decor in our house, and we DIY'd pretty much all of that. You want more? Wow, you're eating a lot of food today. All of the DIYs that we've made have not been hard at all. For example, the shelf in our dining room, we get so many questions about that one. Zach made that, and all he did was he bought 2 big pieces of wood, drilled a bunch of holes in them, and then used some smaller pieces of wood and created shelves. And that's all he did. And we didn't even paint it, we didn't stain it, we didn't do anything. So things like shelving are a great thing to DIY. Tip number 2 is look at what you have and make it work. So some of the things that we did was, for example, our sink. I really wanted a double sink, but because of the plumbing situation, we ended up just putting in a bigger single sink. Or our open shelving. Instead of ripping out cupboards, we just took the doors off and painted the inside, and it saved us a lot of time and money, and it still looks really great. So looking at what you have and being creative and making it work is a really big tip. Tip number 3 is shop the deals and shop secondhand. I love shopping secondhand. I love going to thrift stores. You can get really great quality things for such a good price if you just look. And you'll save so much money in the long run. And if you have time to wait for sales to go on or shop deals, definitely do that as well. That will save you so much money in the long run, and you'll be happy you did it. And my last tip is don't go into renovations with a very specific vision in your head. You gotta be willing to adjust things as you go and kind of go with the flow, because sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, especially if you're on a budget. And lots of the time, things won't turn out the way you envision them. So go in with lots of inspiration. Pinterest is a great place to get inspiration, but don't go in with a very specific vision in mind and kind of make decisions as you go. For example, the countertops. I really wanted to do butcher block, but I realized in the long run, it wouldn't be a good decision for me, so we ended up going with faux marble, and I love it. And the same with the subway tile. I wanted subway tile very badly in the beginning, and we ended up going with a faux brick tile, and I'm so glad. So that's everything for this video. I hope you guys found some inspiration and some ideas from this. And I wish you the best of luck as you go about doing your own renovations. If you want to follow me on social media, I'll leave all the links down below. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next one. Say bye. Look, Eloise, look. Is that you? Say bye. Not happening.
If I could take you up and boom, 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 tell me on the